Hello, everyone. Welcome back to East Coast DNA. So, back with another guest from Alberta. Dan Davidson, you're coming to us from Edmonton?
That's right. Yeah, St. Albert, Alberta. It's a little suburb of Edmonton.
Yeah.
It's really, it sounds completely uninteresting when you say suburb of Edmonton.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful little town.
We're in
tell ya.
small town area of the country right now, so you really have to give credit to the actual names of the areas you're from.
There you go.
Your hometown fans appreciate it.
Representing.
I'm sure.
That's right.
So you're down here for the Cavendish Beach Music Festival, and there's a performance there later today, so be able to catch that.
Yeah, I'm playing 2:15 on the main stage, and then I'm going to be jumping up the hill to the songwriters thing at 5 o'clock. So yeah, it's a great day. It's my second time back to Cavendish. I think I did it. I want to say it must have been 2019.
And are you one of the artists that has done the progression from the secondary stage up to the main stage now?
I guess you could say that. Yeah,
that's great to
graduating
see.
Maybe next time I can be headliner. A man can dream.
I like the double dipping with the songwriter circle because that is one of my favorite parts of this event so far. So I'm planning on hitting that every day.
Awesome.
I left a gap in my interview schedule so that I could sit and listen to the stories that everyone's telling about their songs and
that's
new to me artists.
That's the fun thing about those things, right? Is like it's all about the story. It's people don't like they care about the song, but they want to know about the artist and where it comes from, and
yes,
it's all about the extra entertainment where personalities really come through.
And now you've been doing your solo performances for like quite a while now, like most of the 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, better part of 10 years, I guess. I think my first song was released in 2016 or 17. But before that I was doing a career in rock and roll. I had a band that we toured all over the place.
And I'm familiar with that band. Like,
are you really?
Especially since Tupelo Honey. So you guys opened for like a lot of big names, especially in the CanCon area, which is my kind of wheelhouse anyway.
Yeah, like I think we opened for pretty much everyone except for Nickelback. Like we did like Our Lady Peace, Billy Talent, Metric. We did a bunch of Americans like Shinedown, and even Bon Jovi we did a few shows with.
Yeah, so. I was going to say, you could be forgiven for missing a Canadian here or there if you got Bon Jovi on the list too. That's
not a bad
credit.
resume. It's right at the top of the resume. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I can imagine. So the transition from being in a rock band to being a solo country artist, what's that transition like? Is there a personal reason to make the transition, or is it just something that you, as an artist, gravitated towards to flex a different muscle?
Yeah, well, like we'd been doing the rock band for so long, and it just kind of felt like it was time for some sort of a change.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys we used to tour with, like Dallas Smith, for example, he was doing the country thing, and I was kind of getting interested in it, and went to see Dallas play. He was opening for Florida Georgia Line, and had this like awesome after party, and he was just, he was like getting paid a hilarious amount of money to sit in the bar and drink, and I was like, this is crazy, man. How did this happen? And he's like, man, you should think about country music. Like, we're kind of doing the same thing that we did in rock. And, he's like, you got a great name for it. And I'm like, yeah, Dan Davidson. That sounds like a pair of jeans. I'll have a Dan Davidson size 30, please. It just made sense to me. And then I started writing, and it kind of seemed like, I just unlocked that door that I kept locked in my rock writing. It's like the twangy door. And it just kind of came out naturally. Like, I'm from the prairies of Canada, right? So it's a lot of farms and fields and stuff out there. Just kind of crept in.
As far as similarities in that process, then, when you're writing a rock song, do you start with an acoustic guitar like a singer-songwriter? Like, not every rock person does, but I know quite a few from doing this format, and usually it's a guitar sitting on your lap and just playing around. You have some chords and some lyrics. So is it similar to write a rock song versus country song?
I find it to be different. For me, it's like country is all about the lyrics. That's people really, really pay attention to the lyrics.
Yeah.
But in rock, I don't think it's as much. It's about the emotion. So it's like, however you can make somebody feel something is more important, I find, in rock. And I think that was kind of nice for me because it kind of gave me that balance. Like, I learned about that. Learned about trying to make people feel something with music, and then I learned more about like, okay, let's hunker down and get these lyrics kind of feeling, that fine line between clever and stupid, as Spinal Tap once said. And then my latest song came out in April. It was called Won't Forget. It's with Tim Hicks and also an Australian artist that's kind of rising down there. Australia's been a big part of my story lately. But I am working on new music. I've got 2 songs I'm recording right now, and I'm trying to like really get in gear here to see if I can get something ready for the fall. I want to keep the pace high and just make sure that new stuff is always rolling out.
Excellent. And so now that you're on the East Coast, do you have anything else that you're doing down here before you head home, or is it the festival and get back?
It's just the festival in and out. I'd like to be doing more out here, but and it is so hard to get out here with the cost of flying and everything nowadays. But it's such an important festival and such a big part of the DNA of the music on the East Coast here. So it's just had to do it.
Perfect. So I'm also curious, when you get back home, is there any tour dates that you want to give a shout out now for anyone that's watching that happens to be on the West Coast?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing a little bit in Ontario. Like I said, I'm focusing a lot on the creative side, but playing Palmer Rapids on July 27th. And I'm out I go to the UK for a few days in the end of August. And then I have a show in Powassan, Ontario called the Smoke and Spurs Fest. And then it's going to be all CCMAs after that. It's in my hometown this year in Edmonton. So.
Oh, sweet. That's perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be good times.
And now for anyone that's new to you, where should they follow you online to keep up to date?
Yeah, pretty much all the socials are at It's Dan Davidson, and you can go to dandavidsonmusic.com, and I'm there.
Great. And I hope to catch some of your performance. And banking on the fact that I think we'll end with that, and we'll just segue into a little clip of your performance, give people a taste of what Dan Davidson has to offer.
Sounds lovely.
All right. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks for having me, man.
That's more like it.